And today has found me in a grove of hornbeam trees. This is early December. I started a series on the hornbeams back in July and August and was able to video the leaves and the bark. And I'm going to replace that first video on the hornbeam bark, Eastern Hop Hornbeam and American Hornbeam bark, with this new and improved video. I've gotten some feedback on that video and I've gotten more information. So let's go with this new and improved hornbeam bark video. Here's our musclewood tree, or the American hornbeam. It's also got a nickname, Blue Beech. And the first set of video I made, I said it was in the beech family, and that was mistaken. It is actually in the birch family, so I apologize for that. It has the color of a beech bark and smooth like a beech bark, but it is not in the same family. Got that muscular texture of a person who's worked out a lot and is in very good shape. And they don't grow straight. I've never seen a straight one yet. That's just not what they do. And its second cousin, it's not in the same genus, but in the same botanical family, right next to it, is the Eastern Hop Hornbeam with the shaggier bark, and they tend to grow more straight. They're not always perfectly straight, but straight enough you could use them for a tool handle, and they often were used for that in pre-industrial days. It's a very hard wood, very dense, a very slow growing tree, and these occupy the understory of this. What I've got is some maples, some beeches, some oaks, and we've actually got an old fence line here, so this was probably farmland to my east here. And it's going through early succession, maybe 50 years of succession. And to my west here is a steep bank that probably was never cleared. So these trees are kind of occupying the understory in this edge area. Got a nice, real shaggy Eastern Hop Hornbeam right here. I think in the first video I said it was like somebody who hadn't shaved their legs. Kind of got some little flakes on it. Some of them are more shaggy than others, but they tend to definitely be a coarser bark with none of that muscular texture showing through. Underneath all those shags, it would be hard to see them, but I got a whole bunch of them growing right here, different sizes. And thought this would be a good place to continue and improve upon that first video series. Here's another musclewood or American hornbeam right here. And I've been fortunate enough to find some of the seeds from American hornbeam in the last few days. I find them growing at the very top of these trees where it's hard to video, but I also found some yesterday overhanging a stream that were close enough to the ground. So I'll be looking for that. I'll be putting that up as well as this on the channel. And these trees tend to grow in a moister soil. You won't find them in a real rocky, dry hillside like where you'd find a chestnut oak or a scarlet oak, but more of the medium soils, the ones that are a little bit better at holding water and not quite so exposed to the extremes of weather. So that's kind of what they do, is they catch the sunlight that the other trees don't catch. Sometimes they're growing along the edges where there might be more sunlight, but they're never a full-size tree. They're always the understory trees, and that's the niche they fill. And like I said, they're in the birch family, which all the birches and hornbeams I'm going to put on this channel have one characteristic that's in common, and that's the double-toothed leaf. The Eastern Hop Hornbeam is the larger of the two, and its leaf is on the left here, and you can see that serrated edge. And the American Hornbeam is a little smaller. Those are U.S. currency dimes for scale. A little smaller, a little narrower, and you can get a better view of those while they were still green on the clips that I've done on American Hornbeam foliage and Eastern Hop Hornbeam foliage. But these are the leaves from a few months ago, and that will just help remind you that the teeth on a member of the birch family do have a double serration, a large tooth followed by a small tooth followed by a large tooth, and sometimes more than one small tooth between them. If you really want to see that, check out the clip I did on river birch.